Okay. Done. Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you are enjoying the summit. Welcome to our session on next generation CDK development with Amazon Q Developer. My name is Laura Al-Rishan, and I am a solution architect at AWS, and I'm also a part of the next generation developer experience team at AWS. And today I will be co-speaking with my colleague Fawzi. Fawzi, if you can introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. First, thanks for coming and spending the next 30 minutes for us. My name is Fawzi Harfouch. I'm a solutions architect with AWS. I've been with Amazon for over 11 years. Recently working with the startups team around the region. We do work a lot with startups who are using our development tools, especially the CDK. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No? Okay. Now.
Very low. Very low. So most probably we're hearing you from. Right. Can I just do the intro from your mic? Or just no?
Yeah.
Introduce me.
It's okay. It's you say it your own way. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's fine.
All right. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so I'm a solutions architect with Amazon Web Services. I'm part of the startups team here in Dubai. We do work with startups across the MENAT region. Our startups, of course, they use our development tools, including the CDK, the AWS CDK. And recently, actually not recently, in the last few years, we've been working with them, especially using the Code Whisperer and now Amazon Q Developer. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Laura, for you. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so there's my quick agenda. So we will start with a quick overview of the services that we will be demoing here, and we'll talk about their key features, and then we will follow up this with a live hands-on demo. So who here is familiar with AWS CDK or AWS Cloud Development Kit? Okay, I see a few people. So for those who are not familiar with AWS CDK, it is an infrastructure as code tool. And while there are plenty of infrastructure as code tools out there, but most of them require you to write lengthy YAML files or JSON files where, you know, like this single misplaced space can just ruin your entire day, or they just demand you to learn an entire new programming language. So to address these challenges, we introduced AWS CDK that you can use to define your infrastructure in your preferred programming language. So this makes it more intuitive and more easy for developers especially. And the fundamental building block of AWS CDK is called a construct. So the AWS construct library has a construct for every AWS service. And it categorizes them into 3 levels. So we have L1 constructs, and these constructs are the most basic constructs. They offer no abstraction, and they correspond to a single AWS service. And then we have the L2 constructs, or like level 2 constructs, and these constructs offer a higher level of abstraction comparing to L1 constructs to facilitate the resource management, so you don't have to put in all the details. And these are the most commonly used constructs. And then we have the L3 constructs, and those offer the highest level of abstraction, actually. And so one or each L3 construct will combine a few AWS services that are pre-configured to work together to solve a specific task. And today, in our session, we will be actually building an L3 construct. And to make this process even more Yeah, so to make this construct even more fancy, we will be using for this Amazon Q Developer. So who here knows about Amazon Q Developer? Who is familiar with it? Okay, I see a few hands. So who has ever used Amazon Q Developer? Okay, a few hands here as well. Okay, so for those who are not familiar with Q Developer, so Q Developer is a generative AI-powered assistant that is designed to help you throughout the whole or the entire software development lifecycle. It's not only a coding assistant, it can do much more to this. So it can help you in the design and the planning phases. It can help you in the building phase as well, whether you are starting a project from scratch or if you want to add like additional features to your existing application, fix some bugs, create and run tests, deployments, and it can go beyond that and run security reviews for you, code reviews as well, and it can also you can use it to modernize your application as well when the time comes. Yeah, so I hope you are excited to see Amazon Q in action. And now I will show you just one application that was built purely with Amazon Q Developer. So it's a very simple web application. What you have here is that you can input your, maybe I will just increase the font. So you can add a query or a question. It can be a random question that you might have. And after you submit your query, you get an answer using an LLM. So I will ask it the default question that we had here. What are the benefits of using AWS CDK for infrastructure as code? And after submitting the query, we'll wait for a few moments just because the connection is also not very strong. And here, as you can see, we get the answer. And here, let's shift our perspective for a moment. So let's say that as a developer, product owner, or even like an end user, there is often a question that comes to mind when using this kind of services. And that question is, how much did that request actually cost me? So how can we edit this application or enhance this application to include the cost per request or even maybe cost per session? So let's go back to the architecture. This is the current architecture of the application that we have. So when a user makes a call with the query, he invokes a Lambda function, and this Lambda function will make an API call to an LLM through Amazon Bedrock, where Amazon Bedrock is an AWS service that gives you access to a wide variety of different LLM models and other FMs as well. And we want to know like what is the cost of the request that you make to the LLM. So this is like this part here. Okay, and this is what we actually want to build. So to enhance our application, we want to add a new component to our existing application that combines like a Lambda function that will act as a proxy, and its role will be to take like the request, like to analyze the request, what are the input and output tokens, calculate the cost, and write this information to a DynamoDB table, our key value store. And as it is a component that I might like to reuse in other applications or maybe share with my team or other part of the organization, we will build it as a L3 construct that I talked about earlier. So let's get into the actual building.
All right. Okay.
Thanks, Laura. Okay, so we're gonna go through a demo. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna try to build the L3 construct, and I'm gonna use the Amazon Q CLI for that. Okay, just I'll run the command first, and then I'll explain to you what I'm doing. Q. Okay.
Okay, so here we are, like we were initializing Q Developer in the terminal. It's called like Q Developer in the CLI. And this is the prompt. We have a ready prompt, so we will explain it in a moment. We want to run it first, so because it will take some time. And while it is running, we will be going over the details of the prompt structure and also the code that we already have and what is going to get built.
All right. So. Okay. So now it's working in the background. First of all, so to be able to use Amazon Q Developer on your Mac or on your laptop, you first install the client. So that's a client installed on my laptop here. So what it gives me is actually a chat interface where I can chat with Amazon Q Developer to give me hints about the codes. It does CLI completion for me. Also, we have the Amazon Q CLI, which is going to enable us to generate the code here and build it and hopefully deploy it. All right. So going back to the code. Let's see. Okay, so what I did here. So let's look at the prompt. Let's look at the prompt we did. So I copied this prompt. So what I did, I asked Amazon Q to analyze the context of my application and the current architecture and also the project files. I asked it to create a CDK construct with a Lambda function, a DynamoDB table, to be able to track the session, the cost for each session. I gave it more instructions. So think of Amazon Q Developer as a code assistant for you. So basically, the more your instructions, the more clear your instructions are, the better results you're going to get out of it. So we specified that they want it to be a proxy, analyze input and output, and basically get the tokens, calculate the tokens out of the text we get in and we get out. Store this information in a DynamoDB to be able to accumulate the cost per the session. And I want to display this for the end user, of course. And we want to integrate this in the existing architecture, and that's why we're saying use the existing API gateway and do not create new ones. Let's see where we're going in this here. So okay, no, sorry. Going up. Okay. Okay. So let's see what let me first give it permissions to go ahead because I don't want it to be late. And let's see what it did. So it analyzed the project architecture for me, and it will implement the cost tracker construct like we said. So it went through the files. So it was reading the files in the directory I have, and it created the actual class for me. And I think it was asking me permissions to write. So the read permissions are the default permissions. It was able to read the files in the project folder for me. But when it wanted to write something, this is when it returned the permission request to me, where I said allow, and now it's writing it for me. While this is running, I want to highlight. Are we logged into the console as well, or no? Can we log in? Yeah. I want to highlight the main features of the AWS CDK. So basically, as you see here, we define the infrastructure as a code. We use the constructs, and then this got deployed automatically in my AWS account.
Okay. I will just show you.
Yeah.
How does it work?
Yeah. Can we look at the deployed infrastructure and relate it back to the?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah.
So it's important to note, by the way, guys, that okay, let's wait for this one. Yeah. That the actual code for this application was generated using Amazon Q Developer. We worked a bit on it to improve the prompts, but it was actually generated by Amazon Q as well. So the initial API gateway. The initial application, which Laura showed us, deploys the full infrastructure for us. We define this in the code as simple constructs. So, for example, So I want to go to the, so now it's creating the new files for me, but let's go to this one. Okay. Okay. I want to go to one of the constructs we have. So I want you just to look at these 3 lines for me. So with the Amazon CDK, by simply writing, defining an API gateway like this and specifying, you know, a Lambda function to serve the content for me, what this construct actually does, it actually deploys an endpoint for me.
Yeah.
With all its stages, it also deploys the, you know, it relates it as a proxy to the Lambda function with everything. And the beauty of it is it actually has all the AWS best practices implemented already. So when using the AWS CDK, for example, the security stuffs, you know, the security, like the best practices in terms of security are already deployed in this construct. Let's go back and see where we are in terms of generating the code and deploying it. Okay, it's still going. All right.
Yeah. So now, like a Q developer is generating the new files. It will create the new construct. It has to also edit the actual CDK stack to also add this construct, right? So it has to define this construct in the existing stack as well, and it has to also create a Lambda function that will be calculating the input and the output tokens and calculating the cost based on that and writing the information into the DynamoDB table.
So let's see what it did so far. So here it created the construct for us and added it to the code. So that's already there. The cost tracker, it created the Lambda function, the class actually, not the class first. In the class, it defined the DynamoDB table with the attributes we want. It added a session ID because we're going to use this one to track the cost per session. And it also created the cost tracker Lambda function here.
Yep.
Of course, it gives the Lambda permissions to be able to write to the DynamoDB and to do the tasks it's defined already. Let's see. Is it waiting for me to do anything?
And it usually, whenever it runs, it will explain like step by step what is it doing.
Okay.
And every time it will also ask you, as Fawzi mentioned before, like for permissions. So you can either give it permission for the full session, so you don't get interrupted every time it wants to run a new tool. You just give it permission for the whole session, or you can even edit the settings and also ask it like from the beginning what are the permissions that it should ask about and what it shouldn't ask.
So I'm going to start the deployment for the code generated, and then we'll go and see what it actually generated. So just running CDK deploy here. So what CDK deploy is going to do, it's going to look at the code generated, do a diff between the existing code, which was already deployed, and the new one, and it will just deploy the changes for me. I'm just going to click yes here, and then I'm going to go back to the queue session to see what it did for us. So this is a summary of what Q Developer did for us here. So it created the construct for cost tracking, it created the Lambda function for cost analysis, it updated the existing stack, and it enhanced the front-end Lambda basically to display this information to the end user. It did the cost calculations for some models. That's just going into some technical details. The token calculation is based on the characters, 4 characters per token. Did the front-end integration and the DynamoDB stuffs. So it created the DynamoDB table where we're going to store the information. Let's see how the deployment is going. Okay. So now I'm deploying the changes, and we're going to see how it will look like.
Yeah. And also, like additionally, the recent MCP integration with the Amazon Q Developer adds much more functionality to Q Developer. So for example, now using Q Developer, you can also search the documentation, you can search the web, you can search CDK patterns, also ask it to use the CDK documentation to apply all the best practices while creating these constructs. So it gives you much more capabilities to the standard coding assistant. So you can really go very far with it, especially with this new MCP integration. And yeah, it's also you have like an option to chat with it, not only within the CLI, but also with the chat that you have just right here. So here you can also ask questions and experience the agentic experience there as well. But if you want to have like the access to the MCP servers, it is better to do it through the CLI in the terminal because this is where these are supported. Okay,
all right, the deployment finished. Let's see if it works. So we're just going with the same question, just to make things easier.
Yeah, of course, like here you can ask like any type of other questions. The request is going to through Amazon Bedrock to an LLM and it gets processed. Okay. And here we have the usage metrics.
So what this code did actually, it created first the back-end functionality to count the tokens, and it also added the front-end code where we can see the input tokens, the output tokens, and the cost per token. If I ask it another question here, let's say, what are the languages supported by AWS CDK? Okay, format.
Yeah, so now we want to know because, you know, it's not only the cost per request, but you also want to know, like, throughout the entire session, like you are asking most probably a lot of questions, so you also want to know, like, how much did the whole session cost you. And here, like, the session total cost will be added, like it's the request cost plus the previous requests costs as well.
All right, thank you. Yeah. So just a summary. So what we did here first, we started with a simple application built using the AWS CDK. This application was generated actually by Amazon Q, which it gives us an interface to query an LLM hosted on Amazon Bedrock. And then using Amazon Q Developer, using the CLI feature, what we did, we enhanced this application by creating a new construct, which tracks the cost for each request we send, and also tracks the cost per session. And all of this is done using the Amazon Q, using the CLI mode of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Go back to the presentation.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so this is the end architecture that we've built together with Q Developer. So whether you are like a beginner with AWS or you are like a professional who has been using and deploying applications on AWS for a few years already, I really advise you to go to skillbuilder.aws to get access to over 600 free courses, labs, games, and resources that you can learn from continuously and enjoy the learning process as well, especially with the gamified sessions. Thank you so much for attending our session. Okay. We'll be really grateful if you can leave us a feedback. You can use the QR code, or you can just access the session or survey in the application, AWS event. Yes, so thank you so much for attending one more time. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, we will be just
We'll be
right
around. Yeah.
outside. So please don't hesitate to come to us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.